Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. I am the Gothic Rose, and as you know, here at the Dark Entertainment Network, this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Once again, thank you, dear fiends of the Den, for joining me on the haunted history of Hollywood. And don't forget, I also have two new segments coming up in the hot mess of Hollywood, which is Hollywood's Women of Weinstein and the Yacht Girls and Boys. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you for meeting me in the den. So, the haunted history of Hollywood continues with one of the most famous magicians and escape artists, one of my favorites, Harry Houdini. And I guess you would say maybe the modern day Harry Houdini would be David Blaine, who does some incredible escape artist stunts. I love it. So, Harry Houdini, though, although known for his death defying stunts most famously, he is lesser known for his relentless pursuit of exposing frauds. So, let's get into Harry Houdini. So, first off, yes, he is known for his magic and his escapes. So, his incredible ability to escape from handcuffs, chains, and locked containers. And his most famous trick included the Chinese water torture cell and the milk can escape. Houdini was so incredibly specific about all of his magic and his escapes, and he was just meticulous about everything until the end. Let's get into all of this. Had a brother, Theodore Hardin, who actually went by the stage name Houdini. He was also a magician and escape artist, and in the beginning of their early careers, they performed together. But Houdini eventually became the more famous of the two, and Houdini could not recreate any of the fame that he had with his own brother. Now, if you know McSorley's Old Ale House in New York City, they have a pair of handcuffs left behind by Harry Houdini himself. Now, it's said out there that there's debate over whether they are Harry Houdini's original cuffs or replacements, but they are the original cuffs. I have been in McSorley's plenty of times since the 90s to hear this story. There couldn't be a replacement because Harry Houdini himself took the keys, I believe is what I was told by one of the bartenders. Now, Harry Houdini made his first appearance on the Haunted History of Hollywood when I was talking about vaudeville stars and conjoined twins Daisy and Violet Hilton. So, Harry Houdini reportedly gave Daisy and Violet Hilton advice on how to handle their fame and their independence, and he helped them get a lawyer to basically get out of their conservatorship or their guardianship in, I believe it was 1932, when Daisy and Violet were significantly older. Now, the other thing that Houdini did that he was passionate about was exposing fake psychics and debunking fraudulent spiritualists, because in the 1920s, seances and spiritualism was huge. It had hit the scene and everyone was coming out as some sort of psychic, but there were so many fakes. So Harry Houdini would attend seances in disguise and publicly expose mediums who claimed to communicate with the dead. Now, this is my kind of guy. This is why I am not a TikTok psychic. As I said, Houdini was a perfectionist. He was meticulous in pulling off all of his escape stunts and his magic. So he was the real deal. So for him to see these fake spiritualists and psychics, it really just it bothered him. He wanted to expose them. So Harry Houdini initially wanted to believe in spiritualism, especially after his mother's death in 1913. So he would attend seances hoping to receive a message from her. But he quickly realized that many of these mediums were frauds, using tricks similar to those he employed in his own magic acts. The thing is, Houdini was never claiming that he could speak to the dead and help grieving people heal. He was doing his magic tricks and illusions and escape artist stunts for entertainment purposes, and he felt that these psychics were just really emotionally abusing people. So one famous incident involved Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's wife, Jean, who claimed to have received a message from Houdini's mother through automatic writing. And if you don't know what automatic writing is, many psychics use it where you will just put a pen in hand and have a pad of paper. And what you do is you let the spirit take over writing out its message through your hand. So you're channeling the spirit through your hand, and they come through and they write their message. So Houdini immediately knew that her message was fake because the message contained a Christian cross. Now, why would you say, "Oh, that's weird. Why wouldn't a Christian cross be something Houdini is happy about?" Well, Houdini's mother was Jewish and she would have never used a Christian cross. So Harry Houdini became determined to expose the frauds and began attending seances in disguise and then dramatically revealed the tricks being used. So he would put on makeup, mustaches, go dressed as a woman, all different things. And then when he saw this psychic medium at this seance using any of the tricks that he used in his shows, he would like rip off the disguise. "I am Harry Houdini, I am exposing you." So published articles, and he gave lectures explaining how these mediums deceived people. And he offered $10,000 to any psychic who could prove their abilities, and no one ever succeeded. Harry Houdini wrote the book A Magician Among the Spirits, detailing his investigations, and he testified before Congress, pushing laws against fortune telling. Houdini's crusade against fake psychics was so intense that some spiritualists hated him, and some people even believed his death was not an accident. So, was Houdini cursed by some of the psychics and spiritualists who actually had the power to do these things? Or is the story of his demise just a tragic accident? Let's check that one out. All the dark stories here, they get me so excited because there's more truth in the dark stories than in the happy stories. So, one of the darkest stories surrounding Houdini is his mysterious death, and one of the darkest is pretty scary, the fact that his death is only one of the darkest stories. So, Houdini was known for his incredible physical endurance. This is very true. He could hold his breath for minutes at a time. He studied yoga to be able to get himself out of these straitjackets and handcuffs and all of the things. He was able to control his breath. He was really a master of his physical body. But in October 1926, he suffered a fatal blow, literally. And this happened in Montreal. So a university student asked Houdini if it was true that he could withstand any punch to the stomach. Houdini, always eager to prove his strength, agreed. However, before he could brace himself, the student delivered several hard punches to his abdomen. Houdini dismissed the pain at first, but soon after, he began experiencing severe discomfort. Despite his worsening condition, Houdini continued performing. He traveled to Detroit for a show, but his health rapidly declined. Doctors later discovered that he had a ruptured appendix, which led to peritonitis, a deadly infection. This is the second person we've heard from Hollywood that had peritonitis. Houdini refused medical treatment for days, believing he could recover on his own. Unfortunately, his condition worsened and he passed away on October 31st, 1926, Halloween night. So apropos, I have chills right now even mentioning this. And of course, his death has sparked numerous conspiracy theorists. So some believe that the spiritualists whom Houdini had spent years exposing had orchestrated his demise. Others speculated that the punch was not accidental, but a deliberate attack. While the official cause of death was peritonitis, the mystery surrounding Houdini's final days remains one of the most chilling aspects of his legacy. Now, peritonitis, there was the woman that Fatty Arbuckle was accused of assaulting, was her cause of death was also peritonitis, which, if left untreated, is deadly. But I think that all of the work that Harry Houdini had done against spiritualists, both fraudulent and not fraudulent, I think that that negative energy attached to him and possibly the punch was not accidental, but it was a deliberate attack for someone who maybe had known or was related to one of the spiritualists that Harry Houdini had attacked. And maybe they knew how strong they were and they went for a specific area of his abdomen to hurt him. Because what does it mean before Harry Houdini could prepare himself? That doesn't make any sense to me. Who is prepared for a punch? I mean, and it depends on where the punch is. But I believe that the whole story in and of itself, again, just comes down to basic karma. He did a lot of good things, but he angered a lot of people. Let me know what you all think in the comments, because the story of the spiritualists and Houdini dying on Halloween, to me, is just, maybe it's cosmic karma. Again, let me know what you think. And if you have any tips to share, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast.com. If you'd like to be a guest, let me know. You just must be 21 and over. And my dear fiends of the den, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you always for joining me here on the Dark Entertainment Network.